Wayne County man is accused of trying to kill his wife by poisoning her.
71-year-old Alfred Ruff's wife reported him to police in Wayne County in 2022, telling police she thought she was being poisoned.
It came after she ended up in the hospital, testing positive from drugs she denied taking.
A wife poisoned, a husband under arrest. But as detectives sit down with Alfred Ruff, one question looms. Will he confess to it all, or is there more to the story?
So, I want to get everything straight, okay, before we ask a little bit more. You knew what you were giving her was eventually going to kill her, correct?
It's been so long since I've seen you.
Richmond, Indiana, a small Rust Belt city once defined by its booming factories, now marked by the quiet aftermath of industrial decline. With a median home value just over $107,000 and a cost of living well below the national average, Richmond remains affordable, but at a cost. Roughly 23% of residents live below the poverty line. Jobs are scarce, and over the years, many have packed up and left in search of something more. Downtown, a slow revival is underway. New shops and restaurants attempt to breathe life into what was. But the local mall is fading, and drug issues, while noted, are often shrugged off as part of the American landscape. It's not flashy, it's not booming, but for those willing to accept modesty over ambition, Richmond offers quiet. This is where Lisa Bishop expected to enjoy the years leading up to retirement. At 51, she lived with her husband, 69-year-old Alfred Ruff, in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home on East Wallace Road. They shared routines, meals, the kind of slow, steady life people often imagine in their later years. But life for Lisa was already complicated. Disabled and dependent on a wheelchair to ambulate, she relied, at least in part, on Alfred for help with her daily routine. And then her health took a frightening turn. But over a span of 3 months, Lisa's health began to unravel. She suffered from intense headaches, chronic drowsiness, and bouts of diarrhea. 6 times she was hospitalized, and 6 times no clear diagnosis emerged. Then, in January of 2022, a discovery. After finishing a can of Coca-Cola, Lisa noticed something unusual. A white powder settled at the bottom of the can. Alarmed, she confronted Alfred directly. In response, he produced a pill bottle containing a white, powdery substance, the same substance she believed was being used to poison her. She brought it to the police and told them her story. Investigators immediately took Lisa to the hospital for blood and urine screening. While toxicology results were still pending, police moved swiftly, taking Alfred Ruff into custody and transporting him to the Wayne County Sheriff's Office for questioning. And behind closed doors, detectives were determined to uncover the whole truth. The conversation was calm, direct, but what Alfred revealed would leave detectives stunned.
Okay, so let's start off just telling me why you're here today.
The reason I'm here today is I was given this little bottler like that. It was about one of them Fields bottles.
Mm-hmm.
And they had their white stuff in it. They told me just sprinkle a little bit on her drink, and then tell her when she was out, and they'd come in and do their things.
Okay, I don't understand. Who are you saying? Who's they?
That's her daughter, and I can't pronounce her last name.
What's her daughter's name?
Yeah.
Is-
Well, I pronounce it that way. I don't know.
Okay.
I know she's been in trouble with the law.
And then what's her friend's name? Do you know it?
Mm-hmm.
Sarah.
You don't remember Sarah's last name?
No, not at all.
Okay. Sarah,
That's it.
and you call her, but I think you call her a better name.
Yeah.
Yeah, she goes by.
Okay. So you're saying that the pill bottle that Officer Caves took from the residence that has the unknown substance in it, you're saying that they gave that to you?
They gave me the bottle.
They gave you the what?
Well, that
Okay.
pill bottle.
Gotcha.
And he said, just take a little bit and put it on until she'll go up to sleep.
Okay.
And
So
then they come in and give her something else so she's completely out.
okay. What do you think that substance is?
I've got no idea what it is.
So you're saying that they told you to sprinkle a little bit into her drink, correct?
Yeah.
And then it makes her go to sleep, right?
Yeah.
And then they come in and do what?
Yeah, they when they watch them do sex and this and that.
Watch them,
Yeah.
like those two?
Yeah, those two.
Okay, so what, they don't do anything to Lisa?
No, they do not do anything to Lisa.
Okay. But why are they wanting you to sprinkle that onto her drink?
I think they're wanting to get her mom to enough of it to commit to murder her.
Okay.
She know we sold the house. And she's been playing me for money for right long.
Okay, so this substance, this stuff that you've been getting from, how long have you been getting it from her?
It's been probably 3 months or so. But I've been accused of, they tried been accusing me of running around picking up women and going to the motel. And I ain't done that.
Okay. So you've been getting this substance from her for about 3 months, right?
Yeah.
And how often do you give it to Lisa?
Just when they call and tell me they want to come up to the house.
Okay. So how often do you think that is?
Maybe twice or four times.
Tell me what they said and what they were planning on doing.
Well, they kept wanting me to have sex with him, and then they came up and it was a scheme. If we got Mom out of the picture, they'd have me. And I told her Mom that I'd never do anything to her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I found this bottle and I gave it to her last night. I said, here's what it is. I said, I don't know what's in it. In fact, I think they gave me a little bit the last time they was up. 'Cause I was drowsy for a day there.
Okay. So I'm still trying to get what their entire plan was. So their entire plan is to have Mom killed, right?
Get Mom out of the picture.
So they want Mom dead, correct?
Or something.
It's not or something.
Well,
I mean, they're having you give this to have her dead, correct?
Yeah, to work on her.
What do you mean to work on her? That's the reason why you're giving this is to eventually kill her, correct?
Yeah, that's what they wanted done.
Okay. And they said that to you, is that correct?
Yeah. And they come to the house and then they try to put on a show for me and this and that.
Okay. So they're putting on a show, and what do you mean by show?
They wound up, my wife ordered some of these fancy negrachés and that.
Mhm.
Well, they got a hold of them, and they'd put them on and try to rouse me by them wearing her clothes around.
Okay. So they wear the clothes around. What else are they doing?
Well, I think while they're messing with me, one of them is trying to find stuff to go through and take out of the house.
Okay. So are you having sex with?
Yes, I have.
Okay. During these occasions, that's what I'm saying. Is when
Yes.
they're coming up that
Yes.
you're having sex with them?
Yes.
Okay. And it's those two at the same time or just one?
Well, they'd both be there at the same time.
Okay. So here's the thing, Alfred. So they're coming up. You're having sex with these ladies. How old are they?
Her daughter is 31 or 30, in the 30s.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 69.
So you're having these females come up. They come when either Lisa's gone or she's asleep, right?
Yeah.
And then you have sex with them. And then they discussed a plan to kill Lisa, correct?
That's what they was wanting to do.
Okay. Why?
So they get her out of the picture because she told me already that she had a life policy. Well, they think they get her out of the deal, they would go get the life policy.
So I want to get everything straight, okay, before we ask a little bit more. You knew what you were giving her was eventually going to kill her, correct?
Yes,
Correct?
yeah.
Okay. So the substance that you were getting from, you knew that it was going to knock out your wife, and then you knew that the longer you gave it to her, it'd eventually kill her. And that was the
Right.
ultimate goal?
I didn't know it was going to kill her with that same stuff.
Okay. But that was the goal, was to eventually have her dead from the substance that she was taking.
That's what her daughter wanted done.
Okay. And then you were helping her daughter to do that, correct?
Yeah. I was involved with it. I wish I had never been.
But you were involved in it. That's what you were doing.
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been having sexual relationships with?
Probably since back in September.
So this is not your daughter, correct? It's her daughter?
It's her daughter.
Okay.
Be my stepdaughter. She's been in trouble a hell of a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I used to live down at my home place. She OD'd twice down there.
Okay. Do you have any idea what this substance is?
No, I do not.
Okay. Because it's something we're going to have to handle. We're going to have to be around it. I don't want this substance harming me or other officers. And you have no idea what it
I
is.
have no idea what it is.
And at no point did Liz say, hey, this is this, or this is what you're going to give her.
No, she
Didn't
never
say
did
what it
tell me
was.
what it was.
Okay. But she was the one giving it to you, and then you gave it to
I
Lisa.
gave a little bit to Lisa.
Okay. And how many times total do you think you gave her this between 3 months ago to now? How many times total?
Told her maybe 12 times.
Okay. Every time that you gave it to her, did show up?
Yes.
Okay. And every time they came, they put on this show, correct?
Yeah.
So you're saying this past time you slept with and not?
Yes.
Okay. And then every time, is it different, or you just go from?
Different one. It's not the same person. Same one every time.
Same one every time? What do you mean?
Well, what I mean, it weren't just part of the time. It was
Okay. And you understand what you were doing, right? I mean, you understand that them giving you this to lead to that, that is a criminal offense. What you're doing is trying to kill your wife. Do you understand that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't care whose plan it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or who came up with it. You're a part of it, and you're doing it. You're the one giving her this substance in order to knock her out. That is eventually, the plan is to kill her. Is that correct?
What my plan?
It doesn't matter whose plan it is. I'm saying that's the plan, right?
That was the plan, yeah.
Okay. And you're the one going through with it. You're the one giving her the stuff every single time, 12 times for the last 3 months, and you're the one doing that. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And then they would come in and they would give an additional amount every single time.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So when they initially brought this up, did they have the pill bottle with them the very first time they talked about it, or did they have to bring it the next time they came?
They brought it the next time we came.
Okay, so that initial time that you guys spoke about it and you're at the house in September,
Yeah.
they said what to you?
They said, we just want to have a party with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I went along with it for a little bit.
Yeah. So when did it turn from, hey, let's get together and have sex and have mom asleep during this time, to we want mom dead in order to get her out of the picture?
About last part of September.
Okay. And how did that conversation go?
That conversation went, we'll give you the stuff to do it with, to put her to sleep, and we'll come up and put a show on.
I'm not talking about
money. They even charged me money for whenever they came up there. They would get me for about $150.
Okay, so you were paying to have sex with them?
Well, that's what it amounted to.
What I'm concerned about is the conversation that turned from, hey, I'm giving this in order to have sex with these girls, compared to, I'm giving this to ultimately kill Lisa.
I did not want to kill Lisa.
Okay. But you knew that that's what their plan was, and that you went along with it.
I went along with it.
Okay.
When I should never been.
What was the conversation to turn to that point? They said what to you in order to do that?
Well, they just kept on. Every word they did, they weren't leaving me out. They just kept on. And they got telling her, she called her mom up and said, well, we're having sex with Al.
And when did they tell your wife that?
It was back in the first part of November.
What'd your wife say?
Huh?
What'd your wife say?
She didn't go for him. She said she'd be ready to get rid of me.
Okay, but did she believe him?
What? Yeah, she believed that they'd do it.
No, she believed them that you were having sex with them, or did you admit that to Lisa?
Yes, I did admit it to her.
Okay. So the main thing I want to know is the conversation that you guys had that eventually wanted to kill Lisa. Did they say that to you? They say, we want mom out of the picture, we want her dead, we want this. What?
So they didn't exactly say it in that word, but
What'd they say?
they said, we get mom out and then we'll have, the one said, well, I can marry you then, if we get rid of mom.
Okay, if we get rid of mom?
Yeah. That was their idea, thinking that I was going to marry her, and there's no way.
And that conversation where she said, get rid of mom, took place at your house?
Yeah, it took place there at the house.
Okay. Road?
True.
Yeah. And so was it that said, let's get rid of mom? That's obviously right.
The one, the head one of it.
Okay. And she said, let's get rid of mom. And then how did you know their goal was to have you married?
I didn't. They just kept on.
No, how did you know that their goal was for you to
Well,
marry
they said
someone?
that once. They
Okay.
wouldn't know if I was going to marry her.
Who said that?
And I said, I ain't marrying you.
Okay. But you knew at that point, the last part of September, that their ultimate goal was to get rid of Lisa.
Yeah.
Okay. And you continued to give Lisa the drug or medicine or whatever the substance was that they gave you from that point until December 29th, correct?
Yeah.
And you gave her upwards of 12 total times of you giving her this substance, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And you knew that the goal was to have her get rid of her in order to end up dead, correct?
Yeah.
Was that the ultimate goal?
That was their ultimate goal. I didn't want to kill her. Kill my wife. I meant.
But you were the one giving her the stuff in order to do it.
Stuff to not knowing what the hell it was.
Okay. That is all we need. Okay. Sit tight. We're going to have somebody transport you down to the jail. Okay?
Down to the jail.
All right. Just sit tight in here.
Can I ask what I'm being charged with?
Well, today, what we're going to charge you with is attempted murder and conspiracy to commit murder. Okay?
Well, I never did. My plan was not to murder her.
Okay. This is what we're charging you with today from the information that we know and the information that you've told us. Okay?
Okay.
By the end of that interrogation, the full picture was out in the open. The repeated poisonings, the alleged involvement of the daughter and her friend, and the twisted motive behind it all. But as prosecutors reviewed the evidence, the case shifted. Ruff was initially charged with attempted murder and conspiracy to commit murder. However, the case was complicated by the nature of the couple's relationship. In an interview published by Sky News on August 29, 2024, Ruff's attorney, John Tompkins, described the marriage as deeply volatile. Police were already familiar with the couple due to prior domestic violence incidents, including an event where Lisa reportedly ran over Alfred with a car about a year before his arrest. This history of mutual domestic abuse could complicate Ruff's portrayal as a pure predator or pure victim in the eyes of jurors. Ultimately, prosecutors offered Ruff a plea agreement. He accepted, pleading guilty to aggravated battery, while the attempted murder and conspiracy charges were dropped. He was sentenced to 9 years with 5 years suspended. As a result, Ruff will serve 4 years in prison, followed by 5 years of probation. The court pointed to several mitigating factors in handing down the lighter sentence. They said Ruff had no prior criminal record, the offense was deemed unlikely to recur, he expressed genuine remorse and cooperated fully with law enforcement. The court also found that he was likely to respond well to probation, his health concerns would make extended incarceration unduly harsh, and he spared the court and the victim further trauma by pleading guilty before trial. The court also had to consider Ruff's state of mind. At 69 years old, in declining health and already trapped in a volatile marriage, Ruff may have been particularly vulnerable to suggestion. In his confession, Ruff claimed that his wife's daughter and her friend lured him into the plot by offering him sex, attention, and promises of a future together. Whether true or not, those statements likely factored into the prosecution's decision to resolve the case through a plea deal rather than pursue a trial. Once released, Ruff will be on probation under strict terms. He must refrain from drugs and alcohol, consent to searches, perform 100 hours of community service, avoid contact with the victim, obtain permission before changing residence or employment, and provide truthful testimony in any future legal proceedings related to this case. He is also barred from leaving Indiana without prior approval and must submit to monitoring and substance testing as directed. But that leaves a large open question. What happened to the alleged accomplices? Contrary to Alfred Ruff's claims, the daughter denied any involvement in the poisoning, and her attorney disputed claims of a physical relationship. As such, no charges were ever brought against the daughter or her friend. From a legal standpoint, it's important to understand why prosecutors didn't pursue charges against the daughter and her friend, despite Alfred Ruff's claims that they were the ones who supplied the drugs and encouraged the poisoning. The issue comes down to evidence. In criminal cases, especially serious charges like conspiracy to commit murder, the prosecution must prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Ruff's statements during his interrogation implicated both women, but his confession by itself likely wasn't enough. Without independent corroborating evidence, things like physical evidence, text messages, recorded conversations, witnesses, or direct admissions from the women, the prosecution may have struggled to make a case strong enough to present to a jury. And there's another layer, self-serving testimony. Because Ruff stood to potentially reduce his own culpability by blaming others, his statements carry less weight on their own. Courts are cautious about relying solely on the word of a defendant who may be trying to shift responsibility. Ultimately, without solid corroboration to back up Ruff's allegations, the state likely determined that the risk of losing at trial, or even failing to get charges approved, outweighed the benefits of proceeding. Legally speaking, prosecutors don't have to prove someone didn't commit a crime. They have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that someone did. And in this case, they apparently concluded they couldn't meet that burden against the daughter or her friend. And so that leaves a lingering question. Is this justice? Did prosecutors get it right? Or did others walk free while Ruff, who some believe came across as gullible in the interview, took the fall? Let us know what you think in the comments, and see you next time.